Assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم. قال النبي محمد رسول الله صلى الله تعالى عليه وسلم: لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. صدق الله مولانا العظيم. الله رب محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. نحن عباد محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى ذويه وآله أبد الدهور وكرم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Respected Sadat Idham, Ulama Kiram, my dear elders and brothers, this is a fact that from every action of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam we find solace for our hearts, and there are plenty of wisdoms behind all the acts of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, whether we comprehend it or not, whether we are able to understand or not. But the reality is there are thousands of wisdoms on every sunnah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. And this is the reason that Allah's Habib sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, about whom Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala stated in the Holy Quran, لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ, that in following Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, following the path of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam, following his uswatul hasana, there are great benefits for those who follow. Allah's Habib sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam taught us how to live in this dunya. He was a very good example as a husband, as a father, as a neighbor, as a teacher. In every aspect, he was a role model for the people until Qiyamah. And the words what he uttered from his blessed mouth got such meanings in it that he himself stated, Allah has blessed me with some qualities, and one of those is Jawami'ul Kalim, which mean the mafhum of this, that he speaks little, but the meanings of those little words are so much that one can fill tafsir by writing the meaning of the words uttered by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He may use very small sentence, but the wisdom behind those and the depth, the gravity is much that only the Sahaba Kiram and those on whom Allah has blessed with such knowledge, such wisdom, are able to comprehend the meanings from the words of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this is the reason when you find the hadith, for example hadith of Sahih Bukhari, you find Fathul Bari for the sharah of the hadith of Bukhari. You find another sharah called Umdatul Qari for the explanation for the sharah of the Bukhari Sharif. Likewise, there are many shuruhat, many commentaries of Sahih Bukhari. If you take Sahih Muslim, you find Sayyidina Imam Nawawi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu's tafsir of the hadith, as well as many scholars who wrote the tafsir of Sahih Muslim Sharif. If you take Tirmizi Sharif, Abu Dawud Sharif, for all the books of ahadith you find tafasir. To the extent, a book called Masabih, which was later made as Mishkatul Masabih by summarizing Mishkatul Masabih, a collection of the hadith, the book with collection of the ahadith from Bukhari Sharif, from Muslim Sharif, from Tirmizi, from the other books of ahadith. Even for that Mishkatul Masabih, you find the tafasir by Mullah Ali Qari rahmatullahi alayhi, named Mirqatul Mafatih. So this shows that everyone is not able to comprehend, not able to understand the meanings of the words of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For that reason, the scholars, the muhaddisun, have given us the explanation in form of the tafasir. If we take one law of Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam in light of the Quran or in light of the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for example, Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala has stated in the Holy Quran, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاتٍ Ya ulil albab, O people of intellect, there is a life for you in qisas. What is qisas? If a person was murdered, if a person was killed, according to the Islamic law, the one who killed that person is to be killed. And if the family members forgives him, that's a different thing, afu. But if they want to take revenge as a compensation, the one who has murdered a person, he also will be killed in the law of Sharia. And if a person say, Islam is teaching such extremism, if a person has killed a person, why are you taking revenge from him? Why can't you simply forgive him? Why are you killing him? If a person has theft something, why is the law to cut his hand? If a person has cut the nose of a person, why the law is that that person's nose also to be cut? Why this extremism is shown in Islam? When you find these objections, the answer is clear in the Holy Quran. وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ, in compensations, in qisas, hayatun ya ulil albab, O people of intellect, there is life for you in qisas. How come there is life? Subhanallah. If you give that punishment to a person who has murdered a person unlawfully, if you don't kill that person, if you don't give the punishment, he will get more courage to kill more people. If you don't give the punishment to the one who has theft, you are encouraging him to do more thefts. You are making a bigger thief. If you don't give him the capital punishment, you are again encourage him to do more murders. So Islam, by giving this rule that the one who has murdered a person has to be killed in the Islamic Sharia, in the Islamic rulings, this is in order for other people to realize that if I kill someone, I will also be given the same punishment. In this way, Islam is promoting hayat. By giving punishment to one person, the one who has done this offense, by giving punishment to one person, rest of the people are getting a lesson and they will refrain from that act. Allahu Akbar. So when Allah stated, وَلَكُمْ فِي الْقِصَاصِ حَيَاتٍ, for you in qisas there is life, it is understood you are protecting the lives of all the people by giving punishment to one person who has done injustice. And if you don't give, you are giving room for that person to do more and more mistakes. Allahu Akbar. Likewise, Allah's Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam stated, when you eat something, when you drink something, sit and drink, sit and eat. If you research today, even the science has proven this by mentioning the system of the body. When you drink water while standing, the movement of water is in a way that it reaches all parts of your body giving you strength and making you more healthy. This act was shown to us by Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam 1400 years ago. But today, science are on research to give the benefits of the sunnah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you research again, there was a research in somewhere in Germany that what is the reason that many Muslims, they don't get the effect of the brain, they don't become mad, they don't lose their sense. Majority of the Muslims, they are not affected with this disease. Answer given by this scholar is because when a Muslim offers his prayer, he does bow for ruku, again he stands straight and he goes for sujood. At that time the circulation of the blood, it comes to the head and it circulates in such a manner that a person is protected from that disease of head. Allahu Akbar. Now this manner was taught by Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam 1400 years ago. Today, after the research, we find that in all the acts of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, there are benefits for us. A person can become healthy by following the sunnah of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam. I recall an incident. It was told by a great scholar that in Medina Sharif, two doctors, two hakims, they sought permission from Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam, saying, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, grant us permission so that we stay in Medina and we try to cure the diseased, the people of Medina among your Sahaba Kiram. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave them the permission. They stayed there for some time, but they did not find illness among Sahaba. They did not find such diseases among Sahaba for them to cure. So finally they came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam asking that, O the Prophet of Allah, what is the speciality among your Sahaba that we don't find such illness among them in order for us to cure them? Allah's Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam responded in such a manner, the mafhum of this, that I have taught my Sahaba, when they eat, at the time of eating, when there is a little remaining of hunger, when there is a small desire that I should eat some more, he should stop at that point. While eating, we find this, we observe this, we experience this. We try to get some more rice, some more rotis. We try to fill our stomach. But according to the hadith, if we stop our hand at the time when there is little hunger remaining, little desire remaining, Allah's Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, my Sahaba practices that act that they don't fulfill their desires in this manner. When a little desire is remaining, they stop their hands. For that reason they are healthy. So they don't get the disease because they maintain their diet. Allahu Akbar. And Quran also have stated, Kulu washrabu wala tusrifu. Eat, drink, do not waste. Allahu Akbar. So if we waste the food, there is disadvantages. If you waste the food without eating, you are just wasting your money. And just not to waste, if you eat everything, you are harming your health. So kulu, you eat, washrabu, you drink, wala tusrifu, do not exaggerate, do not waste. So do in a manner taught by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam to become healthy. Once some Christians, they were also big doctors, they questioned a scholar that what is the reason for everything you say that Quran says everything, Quran says everything. Has Quran said anything about health? The scholars replied, yes, Quran has spoken about the health as well. And he replied with this verse, Kulu washrabu wala tusrifu. Eat, drink, do not waste. That if you eat in a manner, whatever the amount required, if you drink the required amount, and if you do not fill your stomach only by eating and drinking without leaving a room in order to breathe, then the disease may come. So by listening to this verse of the Quran, Kulu washrabu wala tusrifu, eat, drink, do not waste, those doctors also said, yes, this is the formula. We also teach people, because the people become unhealthy by eating without a manner. Allahu Akbar. See our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, how he has educated the ummah, for people until Qiyamah, how to become healthy. So there are many things in the blessed life of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we follow them in proper manner, we will remain healthy, and also we will succeed in this dunya, and inshallah also in akhirah. But there are some people who knew that in every act of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam there are wisdoms. In every act, every command of the Quran, there are wisdoms. So in order to destroy the Muslim community, they bring out new things to disturb the Muslims. Quran says to refrain from haram things. Do not consume alcohol. When you sacrifice the animal, say Bismillahi Allahu Akbar. Sacrifice in the name of Allah for the animal, for the meat to become halal for you. And if you eat halal, you will gain reward, you will be healthy. And if you eat haram food, you will lose your health. At the same time, you are seeking the anger, you are asking for the wrath of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So knowing this, today among the Muslim communities, you find such thoughts that we are not trying to educate our people in a manner of halal, in the matters of halal. We are reluctant, we are away from organizing such a committee to have a animal slaughter place, slaughtering house in a proper manner. We are compelled to buy from those people, from those companies, those organizations which are run by the Jews and the Christians. And if we want to go for outing, we don't bother to look for a restaurant in order to consume the meat. We don't bother to look for the Muslim restaurants. What we do, when we see the board KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, knowingly that they are supplying, their chain is in a manner of haram, because it is obvious. Why would a person bother to give you halal food when he himself is a non-Muslim? Just by having the certificate of halal, the meat doesn't become halal. By giving the certificate that this certificate is valid for next 3 months or next 6 months, giving the assurance to the public that this company, McDonald's or KFC, they will slaughter animals in halal manner for next 6 months. Those people who say that the Prophet ﷺ doesn't have the knowledge of the unseen, how do you know that this person will give the halal food for next 6 months? Allahu Akbar. My dear brothers, we are to ponder on this fact. In this manner, they are trying to feed haram food, and we people, we Muslims, by consuming that, we are being away for being mustajabud da'awat. Our du'as are finally not accepted. We blame, we say that Allah is not accepting our du'as. But when we look at this, the reality, it is we who have not acted upon the command of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Again, our Nabi Sallallahu Ta'ala Alaihi Wasallam told us to refrain from singing, from dancing, from the movies. What is happening today? Zina will become common. He stated the signs of the Qiyamah, zina will become common. How these people, the enemies of Islam, by introducing the television, by introducing the cinema, by introducing smartphones, they have brought zina into your homes. By the help of internet, your children, to whom you were explaining that you should not go to watch movies, you should not watch TVs, but by giving the smartphones, you are making them to watch those movies. They are watching the zina matters as well by being in their rooms. This is how the enemies of Islam are trying to make us away from good deeds. They have made us be engaged in sinning in such a manner that unknowingly we are engaged in sinning. Allahu Akbar. My dear brothers, likewise, when the matter of the marriage comes, when the matters of the talaq comes, the manner given in the Quran and in the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the method explained by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam in light of the Quran, that is the best method. But some people, knowing that if Muslims follow these rules, they will succeed. If the Muslims follows the rules given by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we cannot defeat them. So in order to bring confusions among the community, they try to change the laws of Islam. My dear brothers, all these things are foretold by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala has stated in the Holy Quran, وَلَن تَرْضَى عَنْكَ الْيَهُودُ وَلَن نَصَارَى حَتَّى تَتَّبِعَ مِلَّتَهُمْ. The Jews and the Christians will not be pleased with you until you follow their desires, until you follow them. These people, the enemies of Islam, they wanted us to follow their path, they wanted us to follow their ways, and they are trying to bring such changes in the community, such changes in the laws, that they try to show that we should go in this manner, we should go in that manner. Actually, their plan is to go against Islam, and they wanted also the Muslims to follow their path, because Allah stated they will not be pleased with you until you follow them. So if you just say that we are willing to be with you in the matter for the sake of the community, we are willing to be with you, they will never be pleased. They will anyhow want you to follow their way and to leave the Islam, to leave the message of the Quran and the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Therefore, my dear brothers, we should be very careful when we find such laws, such amendments to come in the laws of the Quran, from the laws of the hadith. There can't be any amendments in the Quran nor on the laws of the hadith of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The law given by Allah is final. The law given by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is final. None can give any type of solution, none can do any type of editing, any types of amendment in the laws made by Allah and His Rasul sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam. Inil hukmu illa lillah. Allah is hakim. The final word is from Allah, and the word, the judgment given by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the final judgment. Even Quran has told about this. Fala wa rabbika la yu'minuna hatta yuhakkimuka fima shajara bainahum. You can never be a believer until you accept the judgment of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam wholeheartedly, without having any malice in your heart. One should accept the laws, the judgment of Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam solely by heart, and without having any kind of thoughts in their hearts against the law, against the justice given by Nabi Kareem sallallahu ta'ala alaihi wasallam. Therefore, my dear brothers, we have to be very careful. Today, enemies of Islam, they come in many ways. They come in many ways to give